What is up, guys, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you guys are new. Hi, it's Keisha. Nice to meet you all. Get in here because we've got quite a bit to go on into. So what is going on with Justin Bieber? I feel like if you've been seeing a lot of his Instagram posts, a lot of it has been very cryptic, a lot of it's been kind of weird. He went live on Instagram and there was just like a lot happening but not much happening at the same time. But then a part of me is like, boy, what are you high off of? What did you just smoke? I think it's a very interesting time to be a Justin Bieber fan, or if you're just like coming along his profile on Instagram, then a lot of it just seems quite messy. A lot of it seems quite cryptic, like I mentioned, but also like, is there more that's going on here? Some people are like, you know what, this is some sort of like PR stunt to get people talking about his music. But if we're being real, I don't think Justin Bieber needs that. There's certain artists who have established themselves in this industry, whether you like them or not, the next bitch does. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, they're always going to be okay. And I think that there is a lot of artists who I can think of, at least in my mind, who have solidified their name in the industry and who will be fine no matter what. Of course, artists can fall off, but I don't think when I think of Justin Bieber falling off in terms of music, streams, and in terms of like accomplishment, I don't think that's a part of that when it comes to him. But I do think something's happening here. And I do think there's a lot of people, you know, currently now having discussions about why is he doing this? Like, why does he look this way? Why is he posting certain things? Like, why is he on live stream behaving like this? Like certain lyrics in songs, or, you know, him now posting Hailey a lot more. Whenever these things happen where like, no shade or anything, but people seem to be like going on a crash out, first and foremost, like, I always feel like if you are gonna have this energy, you might as well just explode and implode on us. Like, just do it. Or more, just do them now. Seriously, with a lot of things happening in this month alone, if he was to release an album, let's say next month or 2 months time, I think that people are always going to be curious and people are going to want to know the message, because you've got, you know, the Delulu fans who are like, oh my god, like, he's going to say something about Selena Gomez, about mentioning Selena Gomez, and try to make it seem like it's about Hailey. Like, people are going to be chatting regardless, right? And that's something that I would hope that at that point in his career he would know, especially like coming into the industry at such a young age. I think it was like, what, 15 years old. Now with the whole Diddy thing, of course that trial is coming up and we're going to obviously have conversations surrounding it around that time. I get where a lot of the conversation comes from when it comes to outsiders and general public looking in, like, is he okay? And I think that some things may just be like, you know, I'm going to troll the internet because I can do that and because I know people are going to like chat about me the next day. I wouldn't advise that whatsoever. You know, if that's what the angle we're coming with here, I think his team are doing an appalling job. I think that that isn't the way to do it. Do I think it ruins his legacy? No, I don't think Justin Bieber's ready to like hang it up, flat screen. But I think that if we're talking about a rollout for music, there are so many other ways you can go about doing it. And I don't think pissing off the audience or try to like drive people into confusion is always really the best way. But I think a lot of artists have also taken, you know, that direction before, right? Now listen, do I believe that Justin Bieber is somebody who's experienced trauma? Absolutely. Whether he's attended to them or whether he's put off from attending to those things, we will never know. There's a lot of things when it comes to these pop stars that we will never know. But I do believe that Justin Bieber came into the industry at a younger age and was most likely taken advantage of. What that looks like necessarily, I don't know in what case. But I guess you can make the assumption, you know, especially when you hear a lot of artists now who are like even a lot older than Justin Bieber was when he first came into the industry, talking about how tactical the industry is and how it is, you know, sex driven and quite devilish and all these things, right? Like, you hear people talk about it and maybe people don't take it seriously, but I'm listening when people say that. You know, when we were younger, I think a lot of us wanted to be musicians and wanted to like sign with this label and sign with this label, but then we later find out that, oh no, this label is actually really calculated and tapped. I mean, Sony Music has literally been exposed time and time again. People only listen to what they want to listen to. That's a fact. And I know that I've definitely done it several times, okay? And that's just like us as humans, let's be real, right? But like, when we were younger, I think a lot of people had this infatuation with the entertainment industry, and now growing up at 24, I'm like, oh no, that's not what it seemed like at all in the slightest. And there's a lot of hardships and you have to have thick skin and you have to push yourself and encourage yourself. So I'm not trying to say that Justin Bieber didn't go through any of those things, because that's what I strongly believe happened here. I think there probably wasn't enough guidance. I don't think there was enough guidance from the adults at the time, but Justin Bieber is a 31-year-old grown-ass man and nobody is responsible for his behavior, and that's just a fact. I think that maturing is realizing that even with you in your own life, like, nobody's responsible for your own behavior. You are actually in charge of your own life. Like, when you're young and you're a kid, sure, you can try and, you know, make it your excuses and say, but you know, this and that, but it's like, you're 31 now, you have the power and resources to change things and fix things. You know, I think Justin Bieber has been very vocal about therapy. I know that he spoke about it in terms of like when he first got married to Hailey and everything, But I'm sure that he's done some of his own individual work, and if he hasn't, then that's something that he definitely needs to attend to. I do think we all know someone who has maybe a friend who has posted something quite cryptic or a little bit alarming, concerning. Maybe the choice of music was a bit like, oh bitch, what do we have here? And one thing about me, I'm quite observant, so I don't know. I think that a lot of people do use social media as a tool to connect with people and let people know without verbally saying, hey, you know, I'm going through this or this is happening to me. Some people are saying that he is now officially the white Kanye West in terms of him bugging out and having crash outs. I don't know whether he's on that Kanye level, because Kanye is moving mad. If anyone had his phone, which will probably be Haley, give me your phone and put it down. And I know some people are like, you know what, he's trying to like, you know, troll the haters, but I don't think that's the best approach, you know, because I think you like, whether he likes it or not, I think people are going to automatically connect him with Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco, and like people are now saying that he's pressed and that he's so reactive once she released her album. Like, I get it, all of these concerning claims of like, oh my god, I think he's unwell and this, that and the other, like he needs help. I think there's probably some truth to that. I'm sure everyone needs a bit of help. And I think definitely a Justin Bieber, who probably isn't wanting to address certain things. Listen, I think that he needs to do some work when it comes to that, for sure. Because the more you pivot away from your traumas, and I've had to learn this the hard way, oh my god, it's going to come back to bite you, and it's going to ruin certain relationships and dynamics around you. Oh my god, I cannot stress that enough. And I'm sure some of you guys can agree with that statement too, because you know it, you've been in that situation, you know, and to try and get those things to come back to the way it was before in a loving, healthy way, it requires a lot of effort. Right? So you need to attend to that, especially while having a child as well. But I do also think Justin Bieber is playing into this narrative that's currently happening. Evident that himself and Hailey see a lot of what's going on, especially on TikTok. Everybody has TikTok downloaded on their phone. Let's be so for real, right? Yeah, you might take the occasional break or whatever, but everybody has TikTok. Everybody is seeing conversations that's currently being had about them. You don't have to follow someone to see certain things. It just comes up on your For You page. We know that Hailey and Justin see quite a lot of things. They see the narratives that's been pushed out about them, whether it's factual or not. Who knows? I think that he's trolling us, and I think that he's playing into this, and I think that he's okay with doing that, but I kind of wish that you wouldn't, because it's giving, bro, you should be doing other things than this. It's inviting more conversations that are you really ready for? It's creating even more conspiracy theories here, and you know how bitches be getting. Ooh, they love a good old conspiracy theory. You know, they love to try and connect the dots, even if the dots don't need to be connected, but like that's what they'll still do. Good luck, Charlie. You're gonna love who you turn out to be. Yeah, people are gonna stream your music, but it's like people are gonna now see you as bitter or reactional, and it's like reactional or reactive? Reactive, I think. Some of the things you don't want to be. You don't want to be known as the bitter guy who seems to not be over his ex. You don't want to be seen as the person who's always like reactive, or like maybe Selena Gomez wants to post this, the next day we can expect some just like, you don't want that. You don't want to be seen as predictable. If you're gonna go ahead and tease things like, oh my god, you know, I'm really like basically doing to the fact that I'm trying to hold back, I'm not gonna say too much. It's like, broski, say it. I'm seated. I don't know about you, but I'm literally seated. Yeah, like I'm going to touch grass, but I'm also going to clock in and check in like, hey, so what do you have to say? What is it that you want to say? I would live for Justin Bieber to expose a lot of things, absolutely. I would be seated, most definitely. I think the best place to do it is definitely through the music, for sure. But then again, though, it's kind of crazy because like when Lonely, the song came out, right? Where he was being vulnerable about like his career and like how the world judged him and all these things, right? Were people actually listening? I think people would prefer a quote unquote crash out as opposed to someone putting it into the music. So it's like, ugh, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts and opinions though. I would love to know what you guys think about this whole situation down below in the comment section. What do you guys think about like his recent Instagram posts, especially this year? Because it's not like he was inconsistent before, or like wasn't posting and active or any of those things. He was posting, but it was never anything that was kind of seen as alarming to the general public, if that makes sense. But now it's like weird posts, it's like post and delete, it's like quotes and stuff, it's bringing religion into it as well. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section, and I'll catch you guys real soon for a brand new video. Bye!